Hey everybody, welcome back to the bench. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and a little bit of a overview of what you see here. The AKG Acoustics K240 Studio semi-open professional headphones. Um, these have been around for a long time. They were originally branded as something else. I didn't really get deep into research. I believe they've been around since maybe the late 60s or early 70s, and then they were rebranded as the K240. Um, I remember using these in the mid 90s or early 90s, being a guitar player and having friends in the music, not necessarily the industry, but were passionate about music and wanted to record and make original music and things. So anytime I went into a studio, even if it was a home studio, um, these were always hanging on a mic stand somewhere and used as monitors, whether you were performing a vocal or just reviewing and monitoring things as a studio standard. They have changed in design, and they're still very popular, widely available, and relatively inexpensive. So I already opened it just to make sure everything was there, no damage in shipping. I'm going to be using these predominantly as a tool for getting back into learning music theory. So when I'm plugged into my amp, I don't want to like blow up the house or the neighbors. I'm going to be using these for that purpose. So I'm not a studio engineer, a producer. I am not really an audiophile in the large sense of the word or the term being audiophile. So I'm really not looking at these as something that I need to perform as a certain way. I just need to keep the house quiet when I'm practicing and going over lessons and things like that. So I'm pretty sure they're going to function for me that way. But let's get into the box, see what's in here. We'll take some measurements and weight and things. I'll do a little test. Unfortunately, won't be able to do a real live, like a audio test to really get into the meat and potatoes of it because everybody's hearing is different. What I hear may not resonate with what somebody else wants to hear or really needs to hear. So, your usual paperwork written in several languages. Looks like some Russian, French, German. Your warranty card states the limited warranty about things like damage. So, nothing out of the ordinary there. I did take them out of the plastic to make sure that they were okay. So, this is the packaging. Basically, this is how it's shipped, so it doesn't bounce around. They got this little island pyramid of cardboard in here. Inside, there's more, just some things about the SKU number, logo, pollution controls, things like that. Again, nothing out of the ordinary for something that is sold worldwide. Here is your little cardboard piece. There should be an adapter in here. So this is your mini phone plug to your standard phone jack plug. This is a screw-on type, which is one of the features that I actually like about this. So we'll discard the box for a moment. And basically, these are your headphones. So I'm going to do a little weight test. On the package, on the back, it says that the weight is, without the cable, is 240 grams or 8.5 ounces. So we're just going to do a little weight. If weight is an issue for folks, these are very light. These are lighter even than the ones that I remember using back in the day. So wait till this zeroes out. We will remove the cable. Okay, and weigh these without the cable. And we're weighing it at 8.1. They have it listed as 8.5 ounces. So I would say they're accurate. This scale could be, because it's on a pad, who knows? Let's just take another weight. So 8.1. So I would say they're pretty much on the nose with the weight. The cable itself is 10 feet in length. Again, it's a mini foam plug. I guess it's 3.5 millimeter. Yeah, 3.5 millimeter or 1/8. And your adapter to a full size or a normal foam plug is a screw-on type. So that's very cool. However, this might be an issue for some folks. The connector to the headphones, the disconnect, is proprietary to AKG. So that means if you're using this in a high traffic area, say a studio, these are always hanging on like a mic stand, or even if they're on somebody's head as they're actually, doing a voiceover or doing a vocal, and there's 10 feet of cable running across the ground. Somebody steps on it, maybe pulls on it. If this breaks, especially if it breaks off on the headphone side, I'm not sure if there is any kind of replacement that you could put on the headphones. I don't know if maybe there's some sort of an adapter. If it rips off on the plug side and this gets damaged, I'm sure you could buy another 10-foot cable, but I'm not sure about this side. So that may be an issue with some folks. So something to keep in mind. Also, keep in mind, these are semi-open, so you can see on the dish, this will allow you to hear things while you have the headphones on, so they are not noise canceling. So in a studio environment, if you're doing a vocal and you're listening to the music in your headphones and you have a very, very sensitive microphone that you are singing into or performing into, and this music is piped in pretty hot, you could get bleed from the headphones into the microphone. So that might be something for some folks to consider. Again, that's not my concern, not what I purchased these for, what I'm using them for. I needed them really for comfort. I like the fact that they are semi-open. I could be jamming away on a lesson, my doorbell could ring, somebody could be at the door, phone could ring, any numerous things that would require you to hear. So semi-open for me for these is a good thing. These do have a self-adjuster with a little elastic. It's kind of like a hair tie material. And all you have to do is put these over your head. This strap will conform to your head, and as you push further down on your head and over your ears, these straps will stretch. So there's no tightening that needs to be done. It's pretty much a self-adjusting little strap system. They are clearly marked left and right side. So while we have this out, let's find the tape measure. You think I would have the tape measure sitting here all ready to go, but I don't. Let's see. We're going to have to use the big 25-footer because I can't find the small one. So let's get a measurement of the diameter of these foam pads from the outside. The outside diameter is about 4¼ inches across. The inside, where your ears are going to sit, is just about 2¼ inches across, maybe almost 2 3/8. You want to give it 2 3/8 just to be generous. So that will accommodate a larger ear. These are completely round. I remember using headphones back in the day where they were kind of like an oval shape, and you would have to tuck your ear in. After a while, they got a little uncomfortable. So I would say that these will probably accommodate a larger ear, be a little more comfortable. The padding and the outside material is, it's not like premier material. But in a setting for me where I'm just going to use these to be listening to my lessons and listening to what I'm playing in a high traffic area or a highly used studio area where constantly being stretched, somebody's ears taken off, hanging up, this material may last a while. I really don't know. It feels pleathery, like plasticky leather vinyl. The stitching is nice. And even the foam insert feels good. It doesn't feel like they'll break down. But again, high use areas or just a high use piece of equipment could be a different story for folks who use it in that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flop these on my head. I'm going to plug the monitor end into my Blue Yeti and monitor my sound. And I'm also going to listen for any bleed through, what it sounds like, if I hear any noise coming through, which I'm sure I will. So let me flip the camera around, and you can see my big head wearing these. And we'll take a listen, and I'll give you some feedback on what I hear and how it's adjusted and what the sound clarity is like. And we'll take it from there. Okay, so I've got my Blue Yeti set. Volume is around 10 o'clock, so I can hear myself. Uh, I can hear my furnace kicked on. I don't know how much of that you can hear because I have the Yeti set on that pretty much that directional setting. This has four directional settings for or patterns. So mine is set on. It kind of looks like a bean, coffee bean shape, which basically gives the pattern of the way it's going to funnel the actual noise in. But I can hear myself clearly. I could probably even turn myself up a little bit more, but I don't hear much hiss. I can hear the furnace, which is, about 5 to 7 feet over there. It just shut off now. So if you were hearing any of that, that's what that noise was. It wasn't, by plugging, it wasn't something that was the headphones was doing or my phone, or, the mic was doing. But these are super comfortable. They probably would fit better without wearing the hat and the glasses. They would close up a little better. But I can hear, I don't know if you can see my infrared heater, a little bit of it hanging up here. I can't hear that, and that's got a little bit of a hum to it. And that's only about 2.5 feet away. I can hear water. That was just pumped by the furnace, actually making its way down back into the furnace. I don't know if that's being picked up here, but that's ambient noise that's leaking through the semi-open headphone. But my ears aren't touching the sides at all inside. My ears aren't big, but I would say they're pretty much a normal or maybe a little extra medium size ear. They're a little meaty. Super comfortable. I don't even feel like I have them on, to be perfectly honest. And I'm not somebody that likes something wrapped around your ears for very long. I could see myself probably wearing these for going through a lesson or two, maybe an hour, a little bit of practice time, having them on my ears, just comfortable. Yeah, I don't have any complaints about really much anything at the moment. I still hear a little bit of the water trickling back, heading back to the boiler. Other than that, I really don't hear anything, but there's nothing really on. So I would imagine, if you had a TV on that was kind of loud, or a radio, or even, like I said, somebody knocks on the door, depending on where you are. If you're far, far away from the door, you may not hear it, or a doorbell. You may not hear your phone if your ringer was very low and the phone was far away from you, but I'm sure I'm confident if it was close enough, you would hear your phone ring. But again, look at where I'm only about maybe 8 to 10 inches away from the Yeti. Now, if I was performing and using this as monitoring the music, getting piped in from a board, and I'm singing, if this monitor is too loud, it's probably going to leak into your studio mic. Studio mics are a lot more sensitive probably than the Blue Yeti. I don't think people do any serious recording in a studio with a Blue Yeti. But a standard XLR, like a legit, like a Shure or whatever model, if this is too loud, it's probably going to leak. I can hear my boiler is on again. It's heating up, but it's not pumping anything. I don't know if you actually hear that in the mic. You probably shouldn't hear it based on the pattern I have it set to. I like them. Again, they're lightweight. My ears fit comfortably. The self-adjusting strap, you're not feeling any, like resistance when you put it on. You just kind of put it on and it kind of glides over and it seeks its own level. Now, how long those little elastic straps last, again, high use, studio use, things like that. They could wear out. Maybe they're replaceable. I'm not really sure. But I kind of dig it. So I'm going to call these good. Something I can live with. Something I think is going to perform for me. It's just what I needed to do. Same thing with the Blue Yeti. I was tired of using those cheap wireless lapel mics. They break down the sound. You sound robotic. A lot of folks have reservations about the Blue Yeti, being that it's so old. Logitech took them over. It's not the same Blue Yeti that was made in 2009. Well, of course not. It's 15 years later almost. The technology has changed. There's probably a lot better options for the Blue Yeti for somebody who wants a USB microphone right now. But for what I do, I think it's just going to serve me, the best way. I'm not a podcaster. Not somebody that does interviews. You just need to hear my lousy voice when I'm doing voiceover or just what I'm doing now. So Blue Yeti's good for me. Same thing with these. Some folks may, that are in the high end of, music producing and things like that. This AKG 240 may not be a workhorse for them. But for the DIY or somebody who's breaking into doing their own YouTube channel, wants to monitor their voice, or what I'm going to be using them for, just to do some practice lessons with guitar. Hey, maybe I'll sit in and, start listening to old records again, chilling out on the couch. I don't know if you heard that. It's the neighbors setting off fireworks because it's New Year's Eve. Great. Anyway, if you hear that, I can actually hear that through here. So maybe that was a good test, So the way the universe works in weird ways. So let's get back to the other view. I'll put the headphones back on the bench and give you my little final thoughts. And we'll be right back. So there you have it, folks. Hopefully my constructive and objective view, not so much a very technical review, of the AKG Acoustics K240 Studio Semi-Open Professional Headphones. Again, these were around for a long time. They've been rebranded from their original version. I don't remember what they were called before they were branded the K240. But some other technical specs. The system is dynamic. The design is some circumaural semi-open back. The audio bandwidth is 15 to 25,000 hertz. Sensitivity is 91 decibels, and whatever these little words and letters mean, they'll probably mean something to somebody who's really audio an expert. Max input power 200 MWs, again, whatever the heck that means. 55 ohm rated impedance. The weight 8.5. We weighted on the scale. It came in at 8.1. 10-foot cable with the adapter. That is a screw-on type from a standard 1/8 to 1/4 inch. And that's really about it. Here's some information, model number information, and spec if you want to have those numbers for your own personal use. Again, packaged pretty well. They got here without any incident, no shipping issue. I purchased these from Amazon. I'll put a little screenshot in here. Again, very comfortable. I like the way the self-adjusting strap fit. My ears fit comfortably inside. They don't really make you sweat very much, although I do have that heater on behind me, so I'm a little warm. But comfortable. There's your semi-open cavity again, so you can hear through these. What can I say? It seems like it's going to do the job for me. There may be some other things that you may be looking for or have needs for that these may not do the job for you. But again, beginners just getting into it, even getting into a home studio kind of thing, these may perform well. So that is it for now, folks. Again, it is New Year's Eve. So I hope your New Year's goes well. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. And I will see you in the next video.